Hey guys, it's ExandShadow. Welcome back to the Kirby 64 Let's Play. And now we're still on Neostar, which is now we're above ground for some reason. I don't know, this level's weird. Anyway, yeah, this is actually one of the best levels in the game to get ice power-ups relatively quickly, until we get to the next world, which has a lot of ice types readily available. But in this level, there's an ice enemy right at the beginning, so you're pretty much able to get ice power-ups if you need them there. So that's a good place to look. Anyway, this is Ice Spike power. It turns you into a snowflake, and anything you touch turns into an ice block. It's a decent power, I'm not gonna lie. It's decent, but not great, I should say. Anyway, for this, we're going to need the Giga Drill power-up. So, yeah, so go get the spike guy that's at the very beginning and combine it with the rock guys that are over there, and then you should be fine. The good thing about Giga Drill Kirby is that the drill goes through obstacles, like it goes through the ground here, so you shoot it through the ground, and then that's how you break that thing. It's very good. It's one of the best power-ups in the game, honestly. You can shoot multiple at a time, they go pretty fast, it shoots through obstacles, so you pretty much have Mega Man shooting logic here. But yeah, it's one of the best power-ups in the game. I use it a lot. Not as much as I normally do in this playthrough, because again, I'm trying to have a varied power-up. A varied power-up, sort of. I want to have some varied power-ups. How about that? There? Okay, good. I can talk today. Yeah, I'm sort of tired. So, yeah. Anyway, this is a pretty standard level. You run, you jump, you shoot things. Well, if you have Giga Drill Kirby like I do. And yeah. So, yeah, as I was saying last part, Neostar has a very varied level structure because, like, it doesn't really have any one set theme. It's not a jungle level or an underground level, or even like a lava level. It's just sort of a level, and I like that because the rest of the worlds in the game are sort of like one note, and I like how varied this level can be. Or this world, I should say, can be. Some of the levels in Neostar are sort of obnoxious. But, thankfully, it's nothing too bad. I wouldn't be playing this game if I didn't enjoy it. Okay, that's a lie. I might play games that I don't enjoy in the future, but I won't play games that I just sort of find bland. How about that? Oh, and here we get to one of the most infamous puzzles in the entire game. Well, for me, anyway. Yeah, fuck this puzzle. And see, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to... you saw that picture that Adeline had there, and it was a picture of an umbrella. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to arrange these star blocks here into the form of the picture that's in the... You're supposed to make it look like the picture that Adeline drew. You can get either an umbrella, a pizza with a slice took out, or a hat. And this puzzle just sucks because it's so specific with what the picture is supposed to be. If you get one wrong, and if you blow up one that you're not supposed to, you're going to have to start all over again. And some of these puzzles are just ridiculous. Like, it's sort of hard to figure out what you want the umbrella and the pizza to look like. The hat's the easiest one, so look for that one. Hope you get that one if you're playing this game. But yeah, fuck that puzzle. It sucks. I really just don't care for it, honestly. And yeah. And because of how the puzzles are arranged, I had to get rid of my power-up because Giga Drill Kirby, as I said before, goes through obstacles, so it would have destroyed multiple blocks. So you pretty much, just in case, you pretty much have to get rid of any power-ups that you have. And it sucks if you've got a power-up that's good for the situation. So yeah, that puzzle's one of the more obnoxious ones. It's not exactly a god dang it moment in what you're supposed to do. You know, it's pretty obvious to figure out what you're supposed to do, but figuring out what the picture's exactly supposed to look like might take a guide. It definitely took me a guide to get that right. I should also mention that this is the point in the game where the levels start getting a lot longer, mostly due to shit like that. Oh yeah, there's another crystal shard right there. But it's like, due to stuff like that, the later levels ended up taking a lot longer than the beginning levels. I'm pretty sure I had 4 hours of footage, and I ended up cutting it down to 2.5. I actually think I said this already. But yeah, the levels are starting to get longer, mostly because of stuff like that. I wonder what this is supposed to be a hint to. Yeah, that's sort of a neat geographical thing there with the Kirby on the rocks. No, not Kirby on the rocks like that. So anyway, yes, that level's done. And now we're on to our first fire level of the game. And yeah, you're gonna pretty much have all fire enemies here. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But you're gonna want to bring in double ice for this level, just because of a certain crystal shard you're gonna get later in the level. So make sure you have double ice when you're playing this level. I think there's some ice power-up guys somewhere in the level, but it might just be easier to get them in the level before this, because that's the easiest place to get ice guys in the game up to this point. So anyway, we've got ourselves some moving platforms here. Yes, nothing too special, but you know. If you ever want a fire guy, well, this is obviously a good place to do it, but their fire enemies are pretty common in this game. So anyway, here we've got double fire, which is pretty much like regular fire, only double. Well, what it does is it turns Kirby into this giant phoenix thing, and he burns through everything, which is pretty cool, and it's definitely useful, but the problem is that it goes for so long, and you can't stop it in between. It can sometimes be kind of annoying to use. Also, when you stop, when it stops activating and you're in the air, there's sort of like a half-second time when you can't move or start floating, so that can be annoying. Anyway, yeah, now we've got our second King Dedede section. We've only had one of these before, so yeah. Same rules apply. You jump with Dedede, and I died. So yeah, King Dedede does have his own death animation, where Kirby yanks the little puffball off his hat or crown or whatever that's supposed to be. But yeah, same rules apply. You use your B button for hammering, and you try to break stuff. Now these things right here take 2 hits to kill, or you could just charge it up with the B button, and Dedede will start swinging it round and round, and then and then it'll break the things. I'm not sure which one's faster, either hitting it twice by just tapping it or charging it up with the B button, but really they're just there to be tedious anyway, so you're going to be spending some time stopping there anyhow, so meh. Thankfully these little platforms here only take 1 hit each. For some reason, only the bottom parts of some of these are breakable and not the top parts, which is odd. I mean, for some of them where they're not big enough, it makes some amount of sense, but for others, not so much. Anyway, in this pillar right here, in the top one, there's another crystal shard, so you're going to want to break that as Dedede. It's kind of easy to miss if you're just plowing through, so just keep an eye out for that. Anyway, yeah, lava hurts you, as it usually does. Thankfully, it's not instant death like some other games. But yeah, just keep an eye out for that. And for some reason, Dedede doesn't feel like helping Kirby anymore, so whoosh. And now we're on to our next part of the level. Yeah, you can get Cutter, Rock here too, so you definitely have a more varied, there's definitely some more varied power-up selections in this level. You're not just going to run into fire the entire time, though it is the most common, obviously. It's a lava level. What do you expect? So yeah, getting Fire Sword is easy in this level, though again, you're going to want double ice for one specific crystal shard later in the level, which is kind of a dick move, honestly, but I'll explain that when we get to it. There's also electric here, too, which is sort of odd because, well, you wouldn't expect any electric power-ups in a fire level. I mean, having an ice guy makes less sense than an electric guy, but at least in the game logic, you know, they're opposites, so it makes sense from that perspective, even if it doesn't make any logical sense. Electric just sort of doesn't match with the level at all. It's like, it'd be like finding an Electabuzz in the ice cave. You'd sort of be like, what the fuck? Yeah, my analogies sort of suck, don't they? I just realized. So yeah, anyway. Woo. So anyway, I'm pretty sure this is the room I was talking about. You see that little thing in the middle that doesn't look blue like everything else is? You hit that with ice, and then you get the crystal shard. That little block there completely destroys every single rule the game has taught you up to this point. Also, this is ice. You roll into a giant snowball, you can pick up enemies with it, and yeah, it's a decent power-up. But anyway, in that room, it's sort of red and brown, so you would think rock, fire, right? No, that doesn't work. It's ice, and that makes absolutely zero sense. Okay, well, actually, it does make sense. You've got a really hot piece of rock. If you cool it down, it would break. That's science. But the game has taught you that things can be broken with power-up abilities if they have the color combo that matches. You know, so it would make sense in the game logic that you've been taught to abide by if that was like a blue block there. That would make sense. But in this case, it's just sort of reddish rock, and it doesn't make sense in the logic that the game has taught you up to this point. So yeah, that one is another sort of bitch move when it comes to the designer's part. I'm not gonna lie, that Kirby 64 has a lot of those things in it, but thankfully they're few. Well, I wouldn't say they're few, but they're definitely far between, and thankfully there's plenty of good guides on GameFAQs to help you out with that sort of thing. But yeah, it's like there are definitely some guide dang it moments. I would not recommend playing this game without a guide if you're going for 100%, because it's just some of them are just very, very stupid like that. But anyway, the lava is rising in this section, and we have to get to the top before it hits us. A vertical platforming segment. Too bad I can fly. Yeah, the threat of the lava here is pretty insubstantial. I've never gotten hit by it. So yeah, you should be fine. Like, even stuff like this, it's no big problem. You can just jump normally and then those things break. So you'll be okay. Yeah, I got Cutter for some reason. Don't know why. So anyway, yeah, that's the end of Neostar. Now all we have to do is get the boss fight, and goddammit, I missed the maximum tomato. So now we're on to our next boss, which is lava. Yeah, lava. This is one of the more annoying bosses in the game. Not necessarily hard, but just annoying. And then a lot of his attack patterns are sort of hard to dodge in a way. Or not hard to dodge, they're just... It takes a little... not hard to dodge, it's just the hit detection can sometimes be wonky. Not so much in this form. Like most of the other bosses in the game, he's got two phases. This first phase, which is relatively easy once you figure out the pattern. So yeah, just suck up those fire guys and then spit them back out. I wouldn't recommend sucking up and using the fire power with this guy, just because the way it works with you charging into him, it's just not very accurate, and you're very likely to fall into the lava and take pot shot damage. So if you're going to have a power-up ability in this level, I would recommend one that has a projectile attribute to it. Just because it's a lot easier to hit with, and you're less likely to fall into the lava, which is obviously where you're most likely to get hurt. So yeah, anytime when those giant lava things comes towards you, you can just spit something back out at it, and you should be fine. I missed there because I was being an idiot, but yeah. We're fighting lava. You'd think that we would lose this fight. I mean, seriously, it's lava. Couldn't he just make a tidal wave of lava and kill us that way? Video game logic. How we love you so. Sort of. But anyway, yeah, now we're on to phase 2. He'll chase you for a little bit, but thankfully it's not a long chase sequence. It's literally only like 5 seconds, so you should be fine. So now the lava monster, whatever it is giving away its home field advantage and letting us fight on solid ground. Boss, you're sort of stupid. Anyway, this is the part of the boss fight which is actually a lot harder. Mostly because one of his attacks, the fire-breathing attack, has a really wonky hitbox where you swear it shouldn't be able to hit you, but it does anyway. So you'll take a lot of damage that way. The best way that I can recommend avoiding taking damage from it is trying to stay as close to him as possible without actually touching him, because of course touching lava hurts you, you dumbass. But yeah, that's how I would recommend dodging it. Thankfully, I don't run into that attack during this boss run, so I don't get to show you it, which I'm sorry for, but I was able to beat him, so yay. What you can do with this boss battle is suck up multiple of those little rocks, and then it'll count as a sort of big projectile, which will do more damage. So try to suck up at least 2 of those little rocks whenever he makes them fall from the sky. Or ceiling. Or whatever. So now we're magically out of the volcano for some reason. Yay? But what's this? Oh my god, volcano eruption! This totally never happens in every single thing that has a volcano in it ever, right? Can't something just have a volcano and have it not erupt for once? Oh no, we're gonna leave Waddle Dee behind. It's so sad. Oh, see, Kirby, you did try to eat Waddle Dee. I'm proud of you. Waddle Dees are good for you. Anyway, next time we'll be going to Shiver Star. But I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later.